Picture this. You invite a couple of your friends over to hang out. You have lots of fun watching movies, talking about your interests, and just generally goofing around. By the time you all get bored, you realize it's already 12 a.m. Not wanting to let your friends go home alone this late into the day, you invite them to stay for the night. They agree, and you decide to spend the rest of your night watching scary movies and listening to creepypastas. Suddenly, you hear a noise coming from your bathroom, and everyone is shocked. One of your friends jokes around, saying your house is haunted. Your other friend tells them to stop, that jokes like that aren't funny. To reassure everyone, you walk into the bathroom and show them that there is nothing there. Then you take a gander at the mirror, and suddenly, one of your friends spouts out, "Ever heard of Bloody Mary?" Confused, you ask, "Who?" And you agree to the response. You know, Bloody Mary, the legend of that one ghost. You know, the one that if you chant her name 3 times, she comes out and kills you. You seem shocked, and mildly frightened. But being the brave soul that you are, you proclaim that you aren't afraid of some ghost. So you drag your friends along to perform the ritual with you. You all gaze into the mirror, and chant together, "Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary." Nothing happens. You look at your friends putting on a smirk that reads, "I told you so." Then the lights go out. Everyone lets out a shout, a curse or two, and you rush to turn on the light. You hit the light, and turn to see your friends pale white and speechless. You turn around to see what has them so scared, and to your horror, you lock eyes with someone gazing at you from the other side of the mirror. The legend of Bloody Mary is by far one of the most recognizable tales of horror. Bloody Mary is one of those legends that everyone seems to know about, and why wouldn't they? The legend of Bloody Mary has been passed down from generation to generation. It's so popular that it spawned a multitude of films, made its way into TV in episodes of Supernatural and Ghost Whisper, and there are thousands of YouTube videos claiming the legend to be true. The problem with such a horrifying tale that has been passed around so much is that there are so many variations to the story that we can't be sure which one is true. As such, the best we can do is cover the large variety of the so-called origins for Bloody Mary. So let's take a look at the many variations of the story's origin. The most common story told is that Bloody Mary was a woman who was found practicing black arts and was later executed by the church for her sin. She supposedly cursed the world, threatening to come back one day. Another is a more modern take on the story. A woman, Mary Waldberg, was driving home to her family when she was hit by a drunk truck driver. The impact was so massive it ejected Mary out of her seat through the front windshield, despite her wearing a seatbelt. The crash left her so disfigured and scarred that she eventually died of blood loss. And as the story goes, the last thing she saw when she died was the car's mirror, and her soul was forever trapped in there. Another story similar to that of Mary Waldberg is that of Mary Worthington. This Mary was described as being extremely vain. She was reportedly a very beautiful woman who goes hours staring at herself in the mirror. She was the talk of the neighborhood, and everyone wanted to date her, or be her. Similar to Mary Waldberg, she was involved in a car accident that had completely disfigured her face. She initially survived the car crash, but was no longer admired by the community. In fact, many would vomit at the mere sight of her face. Mary once looked at the mirror to truly see how disfigured she was, and disgusted at the sight, she decided to commit suicide. Yet another variation to the story is the tale of Mary Wales, who like Waldberg and Worthington was disfigured in a car crash. She died on impact, and apparently you can summon her by saying, "I believe in you, Mary Wales." Another common belief that is said to be the true origins of the Bloody Mary legend is that she is based off a historical figure, Mary Tudor, or Queen Mary I. During her ruling, she was even given the nickname Bloody Mary. She earned the nickname because of the amount of executions she ordered on heretics and Protestants. In addition, she also suffered 2 phantom pregnancies, which is why in one variation of the Bloody Mary legend, you can summon her by saying, "Mary, I stole your baby." Yet another Mary who is associated with the tale is that of a woman named Mary Worth. According to this legend, Mary Worth was burned at the stake during the Salem witch trials. They say that Mary Worth lived in Chicago and would torture her slaves, using them as sacrifice for her black magic and diabolical rituals. Soon the locals took notice of Mary's use of magic, and burned her in front of the entire town. Like Mary Worth, another Mary in association with the legend is a woman by the name Mary Johnson. She too was burned at the stake during the witch trials for a similar reason to Worth. According to this legend, you can summon her by saying, "Come, Mary Johnson, come." Sticking to the theme of burning, another legend about the origins of Bloody Mary goes as followed. Mary Lou was a girl who lived in the United States in the 1950s. She was kind and sweet and only really wanted the best for everyone. Unfortunately, someone decided to play a cruel prank on her. During her senior prom, someone set firecrackers near her. Her dress caught on fire and Mary Lou was burned to death. Most of the variations we discussed were mainly from the US. However, the legend found its way around the world in many different forms. There is the Swedish variation of Svarta Madam, the Black Madam, who will appear in the mirror if you say, "I don't believe in you, Svarta Madam." Then there is the Queen of Spades, who is the Russian variation of Bloody Mary. To summon her, all you have to do is say, "An ace for the Queen of Spades," 3 times. Then there is the story of Veronica, the Mexican variation. Veronica was killed by her boyfriend who bashed her head into their bathroom mirror. To summon her, all you have to say is, "Veronica, ¿dónde estás?" 3 times. The legend of Bloody Mary would then inspire the legend of the Candyman, a slave in the 1700s who was brutally murdered. He has a hook for a hand and will slash your throat if you summon him. To do that, all you have to do is say, "Candyman," 5 times in front. So how do you play Bloody Mary? And what happens if you summon her? According to the general consensus, to summon Bloody Mary, you must go into your bathroom and close the door. Turn off all the lights and chant, "Bloody Mary," 3 times. If all goes according to plan, she will appear before you in the mirror. If nothing happens, try again. This time, spin around 3 times and look in the mirror and chant once again, "Bloody Mary." However, if you do manage to summon the spirit of Mary, you may be in for some terrible consequences. If you see her ghostly face in the mirror, you may get your face terribly scarred. She may rip your eyes out. You may die with claw marks all over your body. Or you may disappear, forever to be trapped in the mirror. It's a very threatening and fear-inducing game, one that many people seem to want to avoid. Although those brave enough to test their fate with Mary often regret their decisions afterward. A story one Reddit user, Nikki, shares is actually rather terrifying. She claims, "We chanted Bloody Mary 3 times, and nothing happened, so we just laughed it off and turned the lights on. We were lying on the floor getting ready to go to bed, and then we heard someone walking up and down the hallway, and we knew we were the only ones home. Then I saw the hall light come on, and my bathroom door flew open, and the tap started running full force and the shower came on. My friend Macy went and turned everything off, and suddenly it was calm. Then we heard someone drumming their fingers on my door outside in the hall. We all held our hands up to show we weren't doing it, and it kept going. I jumped up and flung the door open, and it stopped. Then my closet doors burst open. We started praying that it would all stop, and suddenly, it did. Nothing has happened since, and I am so glad." The urban legend is a frightful one, and one that many seem weary of. It's true that most of us do enjoy a good scare, and Bloody Mary is one of the fastest way to get one, even if you don't see her. The tension you build while performing the ritual is enough to send chills down someone's spine. So try it out if you dare, but don't blame me if you end up face to face with Bloody Mary. With that, let me leave you with this little factoid, or legend rather. Legend has it that a boy interested in the legend of Bloody Mary performed the ritual, only to be found the next morning by his parents, mangled and brutally disfigured.